everybody, Melanie here from sister writing duo Melanie Shawn, coming to you today with the December 4th edition of our Vlogmas videos. So in honor of it being the 4th today, I am going to share with you a list of 4 things that I have been obsessed with lately. Number 1. The song 10 out of 10 by Rex Orange County. It's so catchy. It honors the spirit of his past work while also showing where he's grown and evolved to. And the subject matter just really spoke to me about kind of having a rough year and just telling yourself you're gonna get it together and you're gonna do better, and then you do better in some ways, but then there are other ways where you're like, still struggling. So at any rate, I'm gonna leave a link to all of this stuff below, but definitely check out Rex Orange County's newest song, 10 out of 10. It's a winner. The audiobook version of Beard With Me by Penny Reed, which is sold on Authors Direct and other platforms, but I purchased it on Authors Direct. And the thing I love about this is, first of all, it's just a great audiobook. I mean, it's everything you love about Penny Reed. It's heartwarming, it's hilarious, the characters are great, it's every good thing about all of her books. But also, the thing that I love about her audiobooks is Chris Brinkley and Joy Nash are just an awesome team. And the third thing that I've been obsessed with about this book is I really love the decision to step away from Audible when it makes business sense, because that could be seen as like a big leap, and it is a big leap, but I just love the courage to do what makes sense, even if it flies in the face of conventional wisdom. So that's what raised this audiobook for me from just the level of loving it to Okay, third thing I've been obsessed with is Mel Robbins' new daytime talk show. I have not been able to watch it on a daily basis because I do not have cable. Everything I watch is on the internet. It's on my TV, like I have a Roku. I'm not a heathen, but I don't have just cable. So, from what I have been able to see of it, it is everything that is great about Mel. It is her straight talking, cut to the heart of the situation, pragmatism, combined with her just compassionate heart for people and wanting to see their lives get better. I almost made myself start crying just then. I just love her so much. She's so great. And really, her work has just impacted my life so deeply. It also feels really good to see her move onto this new national talk show hosting stage. So yes, I definitely think that it deserves the stamp of obsession approval from me, Melanie. Okay, now the final thing that I'm obsessed with is something that's a little less lighthearted than the 3 things that preceded it, but honestly, this may be my biggest obsession of all. I've been talking about it to anyone and everyone that will listen. So the show Unbelievable on Netflix is heartbreaking, soul-shattering, but also so incredibly satisfying because it includes just an unflinching examination of a terrible, terrible injustice, a terrible miscarriage of justice on the one hand, but it also shows let me backtrack a little bit. Let me rewind. If you have not heard of this series, Unbelievable, it's based on a true story. It's based on Pulitzer Prize winning reporting on that true story about a young girl who was assaulted, raped, and the police officers who did not believe her because they did not understand how trauma affects memory and retelling of stories, and basically bullied her into recanting and saying that she lied, then ended up charging her legally with having filed a false report and just all all of the things that she goes through throughout that process. That's the heartbreaking and soul-shattering part. Then there's a simultaneous story going on that in reality happened 3 years later, where cops in another state, the initial storyline took place in Washington, then cops in Colorado end up investigating a series of crimes that ultimately is found to be connected. And so she is vindicated because they find evidence when they arrest the person that was ultimately found to be responsible for all of the rapes. They found photographic evidence that hers was one of them. So on the one hand, you've got just the moving and affecting and rage-inducing story that's going on with Marie, but then at the same time, you see to say the good side of the story just really doesn't do it justice, but the life-affirming part of the story where you see these two women believing their victims, working so hard on their behalf. That's one of the things I loved about it, is it really showed that it wasn't a story like, Sherlock Holmes stories where it's about just this super intelligent superhero detective figuring things out and solving stuff. Like, they were up late into the night making phone calls, spending hours and hours pouring through lists and records. Like, they just really showed how it's dedication and belief that gets these things done. So in a time where we see just a lot of injustice happening and a lot of disregard for that injustice, it just felt very satisfying to see a story about two people working so hard for justice and their quest ultimately coming to fruition. If you have not watched it, I cannot recommend it highly enough. Not only for the reasons why I've said, but also the script, the acting, the direction, amazing, very well done. But at any rate, so that's my fourth thing that I've been obsessed with, is Netflix's Unbelievable. So hey, what have you been obsessed with lately? What is something that you just cannot stop talking about, you just think is the greatest thing ever, and it's just occupied a lot of your time and attention lately? Put it down in the comments. I want to try out new stuff. I want to find out what my next 4 obsessions are going to be. See you tomorrow.